Oh, hello again. It's me, Spreadsheet. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. We're going to do Twitter community space tonight, although we will be returning to the spreadsheet, so don't think you get off that easily. So, hello and welcome, lads and ladettes. Tonight, we're going to be joining Brian Sweet's space on Twitter, see what the gentlemen of Twitter are up to tonight.
Well, we've had a few of them in here for a little while. Shane's been here. Toby's been here.
What's up, Big Bear?
Skrrr, pop, pop. What's up?
What's up? Just chilling. Apparently the Globies are scared.
Dude, did you hear about that new thing?
Which one?
There's this new thing called using a timing interval of when a star isn't visible and when a mountain peak blocks said star, and figuring out what angle that had happened to be when that occluded. And
Are you looking at the refracted star or the actual star?
Ooh, fantastic question. So we're referencing the true position of the star because the apparent position isn't what causes the occlusion. This is noted by the fact that the star for the observer is already, 14 arc minutes below the peak there, but it doesn't occlude until the star's true position is aligned with the peak at 2 degrees and 31 or 32 arc minutes, sorry, with respect to the peak. So we are referencing that position for the occlusion in terms of the angle. And what happens is when you derive the elevation and distances respectively based off of one of the two known variables in the occlusion angle and or what the globe predicts in terms of raw geometric angle, you run into a huge problem because the globe ends up being off by how much they predict they should exactly have if the Earth is a globe in terms of physical elevation to the mountain.
Well, that doesn't sound very good for the globe.
No, I mean, realistically, it sounds exactly like the Lorentz contraction and the apparatus contracting just enough to where you don't notice it.
Oh,
The star occludes just enough so that you don't notice it.
Relativistic mountain effects, I think, is what you're suggesting, sir.
Exactly.
And didn't somebody? I thought I saw somebody say, "Oh, well, that's just what you'd expect to see on a globe."
Dude, so here's the thing: if the Earth were not flat, then the globe approximation should be the one that gives the altitude based off of the 218. So it should be the one that's closest, and then flat Earth should be off by what the globe predicts and drop. It should be like literally the opposite. But what happens is flat Earth is off by, in this specific instance, is off by 39 meters, and the globe is off by 201, and they predict 201 and drop. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, they happen to be off by the exact geometric difference between if the Earth was a sphere and if the Earth was flat. Like, whoops.
I was gonna say it sounds like a post hoc. No, it has to be this way. This is exactly what we predict, and this is what we get.
Well, dude, we found that when you model it out, they're they predict this relationship where the star is at this lower altitude, like I said, like its true position with respect to the observer. But the refraction correction that they do makes up half of that drop to give it to where their apparent position is. And that gives them, what does that give them? It gives them, shoot, I lost my train of thought there.
Geometric Earth drop. Are you looking for?
Oh, yes. The Earth drop. It gives them the refraction lift gives them like their equivalent, like adding back that, like whatever, like having that essentially gives them like liftover distance instead of drop over distance, and like it ends up compensating for their quote unquote drop over distance by almost the entire amount, or it'll be triple or double the amount. It's crazy. It'll be like the amount within 60 meters, or it'll be double or triple what they expect and drop, which is insane.
It's almost like the globe exists within those corrections, which was, to be fair, Heffron's original premise when he came out with it 7 months ago. We've been too thick to thoroughly absorb the significance of that until about now.
So what is their raw globe prediction?
Ooh,
I know
great
their
question.
refracted position is like he keeps arguing for 219, but what is the raw globe prediction?
The raw globe prediction is 217.
Okay, so the mountain, due to curvature drop, should be at 2 degrees 17 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
If the Earth is a globe, that's what the physical elevation would be relative to you.
That's 201 meters of difference. In
Yep.
degrees, minutes, and seconds.
And its actual position is 2 degrees 32 minutes.
Yeah. Something like that. It's 32, 33.
Yep. Yeah, the stars occlude
Okay.
at like 232 to 234.
So even their refracted position is like way off.
Right, which is why they were cool and on board, and everyone thought it was great until this point, and then they were like, "Oh shit!" So now the position is, well, let's move everything back to where we wasn't before we were leading up to this, and we'll compare it to a different time, the time they see it at like 222 or whatever. It's like, no, the comparison point has always been the true position defined by the time of the observation, right? So 232, 233 to 234 has always been the comparison point. That's what we compare both your geometrically dropped refracted angle and our non-geometrically dropped flat angle, right? That's the same comparison, and they lose every time. And I think we felt bad for them, and then we started to let them compare it to whatever the hell they want,
Well,
and they still end up being wrong, is what Alan did.
So one night Taylor was like, "Well, what would it be if it was that?" And I was like, "You know what? I want to see too." So I just started adding all the angles they could ever possibly want. And so, like Shane was saying, if you accommodate for the refracted angle and do the inverse of what we're doing with the position with respect to the peak and do the apparent position, you don't get the globular amount. You actually, and the only way you can is if you introduce an additional term that locks in the distance by using the radius to complete the, like, to make the triangle relative to that point. And so by doing that, it locks in the distance and the angle and the true elevation. So it's like they literally can't do what we're doing unless they do a completely separate thing that isn't predicting anything. I saw some people in not in this chat, but like in another Discord arguing about how astronomers don't use stars this low off the horizon, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, boys, funny story, right? They don't use it for really whatever reasons, right? But turns out if you use a mountain occlusion, you could find your location. So maybe that should be considered, but they're just like, they hand wave dismiss it on the fact that it isn't already being done or something. It's so crazy. Like, watch 6 months from now when they're all going to be like, "Oh yeah, dude, you're not finding your distance off the horizon using mountain peaks." It'll be like they knew the whole time. Watch.
Yeah, I was listening when you were talking about you can get not only your distance from the mountain, but you could also get the height of the mountain, correct?
Yes, and super importantly, we do them both not using the same variable that we derived one from the other, because that would be circular and it would make it such that it would hard cap the distance to always be exactly what flat Earth predicts it would be. So we do it specifically where we just take the occlusion angle and we take the other known variable, so the known mountain elevation, and we trig that out and we get whatever the difference in distance would be to provide that. And then, I'm sorry, for distance. And then we also do one for the elevation where we do the distance and the occlusion angle to keep them separate from one another, like to keep them from being locked into the actual distance itself.
Hey, Alan, real quick, your mic is peaking a bit. It's kind of coming across a bit distorted.
I thought he sounded good to me, but maybe it's just my phone.
Yeah, it sounds good to me too.
How does it?
Super loud, super hot.
How does it sound now? I moved away from it a little bit.
Oh my god, so much worse. What happened?
Wait, is it?
Yeah, it did sound worse.
Well, now I agree. It does sound
Yeah,
worse.
yeah. I was going to say I agree with that too.
All right, give me a sec, lads.
Did you, like, I thought, like,
how are these guys telling with the fact that they're 50.7 kilometers away from this mountain, and the flat Earth would say the peak would be here, and the globe would say the peak would be here, and this star's getting
how would they answer it? Is my mic better?
No, way worse.
Yeah.
Yo, how does my mic sound on the stream? How does my mic sound on the stream? Need to figure out this microphone situation real quick. Sounds fine. Okay, so mic's good. So maybe we'll get lucky and it was just Twitter being Twitter.
So that they can, they're like, hey, well, listen, you know what? This is stupid. And why would we use a whole different method when we can just look and pretend like it was that the whole time? It's been gross.
Testing 1 2.
Lower it.
Beautiful.
Lower.
I don't know. Oh, hold on.
Much better. You're good.
Yeah, now you sound good.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Input devices, output.
Man, you scaled right by it, I feel like. Are you still good?
No, here. How is it now?
Still a little hot. Are you using
sounds
toggle
hot.
control?
Yeah, drop it by 10-20%.
All right. Dropped it by a 20 piece off the dome ski. What are we looking at now?
Just coming into the cover zone. Just approaching it.
All right. I got it down on 30% now. What are we looking at here, boys? Is 30% the magic number?
Maybe a little more.
Yeah, if you get
Oh. You're
excited, you're still gonna blow, I feel.
Right. Okay, so here's the clean 50 off the cuff, boys. So are we within the range yet?
Clean 50. Wait, so you went up?
Put another 2 inches between you and the mic, and you're bang on.
All right. How's this now?
Perfect.
20 is the new 50.
That's good. Yeah.
Ooh.
Good stuff. All right.
Yep.
Are you using toggle control?
No, I'm using a different thing. Pulse audio, I think. Or no, I'm using that. Yeah, whatever you just said, that one.
Yeah.
The good one.
Is that how you always overpower everyone? You're just like super loud all the time. You're like, fuck what you're saying. Here's what I'm saying. And you can do that with an app. Is that what you're saying?
I could do that, but I don't even do that with that.
Oh, maybe you do it inadvertently.
No. I just tune them out and talk over them. Or just turn them down on Discord and talk over them.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to let someone just start talking over me. Like, that's insane. So, anyway. What were we just talking about? Finding your position with the old mountains, or?
Well, he was asking, hey, when the globulars realize the implications of what we're talking about, how do they accept it?
Yeah, they don't. So what they do is they change the argument. They argue something else. They say that we're doing a straw man. They say that what we're doing is rubbish. They just ignore it loudly, right? It's not about why they're ignoring it. It's just about how loud they can do it. It's like there was a perfect example of that today. Professor Parks put out a video. Was like, I disagree with this wholeheartedly, even though I know nothing about it. And even when corrected on my assumptions, I'm still going to double down and say, no, it's wrong. And that was like the whole premise of his 8-minute video. And then like other people watched that and went, oh, I'm so relieved that you looked into this now and I don't have to look into it or consider it because you did. And the like, it was so sick to read the comments to be like, how much these like, no one's going to think for themselves. They literally went there, watched him talk about how he doesn't know a fucking thing about it, but doesn't like it and how it must be wrong. Therefore, and people were like, dude, totally agree. Thank you.
That does seem to be the case with this celestial theodolite situation here. Pardon me.
I'm gonna start calling it the sidereal surveyor, see if that catches on, and then people are gonna start selling sidereal surveyor devices or whatever.
All I'm saying is you guys could have probably sold a few. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, people have come to us and been like, no, it's a real thing. Here's a Google search for zenith mounts and it's
Dude, you say people, but it's really one or two dudes that are.
it's a solid non-zero, non-one number. More than one person has said that to me.
But have they continued it once corrected?
Yes.
McToon had.
Well, that's unfortunate.
McToon did. When you
Yeah.
got when Jesse Pathwood Light and yeah, he said it. He's like, where can I buy one?
Oh, yeah.
Are you talking about Ryan?
No, MC Tune.
Yeah, Ryan.
I think it's Mike, isn't it?
No, that's his pseudo. Check the website.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't look into him that much, but
No, the guy is an absolute facade. He is a fake person. He made up a fake name and he assumes a fake persona and calls all of us liars. Do you sense the irony? No,
Wait, his name is not Mike?
No, it's Ryan.
The fuck? The fuck you
It's
get
not his
Ryan,
name.
Mike from Ryan?
right?
Go ahead. Come on. Shane, go ahead and post the website up in the
So we should all just
up
call
on the
him Ryan.
Jumbotron.
So hold on,
Yeah.
Shane, that video you posted, or that image on TikTok of him possibly being a furry, was that true? Was it true? Has anybody established it?
I posted that?
Sorry, not posted, you shared it.
Yeah, I forget, but I don't know if that's true or not. I think it is. I think a lot of Globers have said it's true, but I applied
I don't
very
doubt
little
it.
effort into investigating that. I'll be very frank.
I mean, let's talk about a
Yeah, I
different
said I was
subject,
gonna look
though.
into it, but let's travel back to the science.
Yeah, I don't care about McToon, but I know that
Okay.
his performance dancing around from the celestial theodolite was admirable, and I haven't seen such a thing since dodgeball with the duck dive, duck and dodge that he pulled. Anyway,
Well, anybody who's really curious in the audience right now, just open up your web browser to mctoon mctoon.gay and you can just read all about it right there. Have fun.
Dot what? What is it?
Why are you gay?
Anyway, science is crazy, yo, as they say in Breaking Bad.
You know what I find crazy is like 6 months ago, all the Globers would parade around and they would say this and chant it over and over again. Ready? Where are your measurements, flat earthers? Where are your measurements?
Where are
Do you have any
your where are
measurements
your
of flat Earth?
predictions? Where are your predictions? Can you use the stars to find your position on the Earth?
Where are your measurements? And now we present like a whole bunch of spreadsheets and measurements, and the whole thing is
You can't
not
do
those
that.
measurements. Yeah,
Not
no.
those Can't use those kind.
So
Those
the
are-
whole goal has been to dismiss all these measurements and then immediately go back to grandstanding and like telling everyone that we have no measurements. It's like, wow,
Dude.
I've never seen such dishonest horse shit in my life.
I honestly don't know why I expected it to be different because, like, you know, we go through the history of things and find out, you know, erroneous conclusions based off of previous experiments and stuff. And like, we have this new thing and we're like, hey guys, check this out. Completely new off the cuff. You guys like this one? They're like, it's all right. Could be better. And then they're like, no, it doesn't work at all. It's stupid. Get it away.
So what you're telling me is some dude who believed the Earth was a globe heard the conversation, wanted to go out and prove to flat earthers that it was a globe, and he didn't know how to do it. You know, came back flat.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it is tough to prove the globe.
So most of us got here, right? Some of us just walked the path more elegantly than others. Shout out to Heffron, who walked it the best of all of us so far. He just showed up with a brand new proof, and he's like, here's how I thought about it. And we're like, no one's literally ever thought about that before. Thanks.
Like, what? You can do that? That's legal? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just trig. It's like, oh shit. Well,
Totally
let me
legal.
try.
Don't even need a permit.
Dude, right? You don't even have to
They're
ask
so-
anyone. Dude, how
They're
crazy
so
is this?
angry.
Dude, right? So check this out. If you wanted to do it for yourself, you could just observe it, write it down, and reference it yourself. Obviously, you couldn't share the data, but like you could just like know for yourself just with like binoculars and a stopwatch. If you really wanted to.
Yeah. Just make an observation, record the time. Done. You're like you've gathered all the data required for your own celestial theodolite measurement.
Oh, and well, your position and the mountain, so you can look it up later. But like it's literally like you could confirm it yourself, and if you wanted to share the data, you just need to be able to record at the same time.
But I think the progression of Glober has been most telling because we've seen the same thing unfold 2 or 3 separate times with like Ruhip and then with John. Right, with John first, he was like, "This is tremendous. I publicly support this. I love it. I think it's a great method to measure mountain elevations using occlusion timing." Like he meant it perfectly, and then did aggressively misrepresent. As soon as he would say that, he's like, "Okay, but let's bring it back to the observer and use refraction about an apparent angle." Even though I've been shown, here's a diagram about my apparent angle from the mountain and how it could be refracted. It's like, wow. So you show that you understand it, and then you immediately misrepresent it. That's been the progression of the Globers. They've been like, "Oh, this is neat. This is cool." And then, wait a minute. I don't like this. This isn't good. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to backtrack immediately and make it about something else.
Ruhip is killing me, man. That dude is spiraling out of control.
Dude, he put his public post out. He was like, "Come talk to me about my nonsense." And every time we engage, he's like, I win a little bit because he brings it about refractive. Like, we already addressed the Jesse Path of horse shit, and now there's like the retarded Ruhip method where he does his own thing about apparent angles and object comparison. And he put out a graph comparing what his interpretation of the celestial theodolite is comparing to a real occlusion time, and then using a different occlusion time from the apparent angle to compare it within his self-correcting, self-reifying model. Like, just incorporating refraction in an observation isn't anything to do with the observation, right? That wouldn't separate it from anything that we're doing. So he specifically does that, says that the globe compares it to the flat, and he's like, "Look how much better the globe celestial theodolite is," right? How dishonest is that? Didn't do anything about the method, didn't even compare it to the same metric to start with. Complete dishonesty. And if you confront him about it, he'll be like, "Yeah, but I disagree with that, so that's why it's justified for me to do it this way." And he's like, "No," actually what he said was, "No Glober agrees with you that method works." No, because every one of you who walked through it realized the implication of the results and went, "Oh shit," and then immediately backtracked. That's why no one agrees with it. Everyone agreed with it until the implication was known, right? So
I just like how many calculations they have to try and figure out what their position is. It's like, let me see my array of clown shoes to see which ones I want to put on for this one.
it's literally size 4 through 14 too. They have such a wide range of options for any situation.
Well, they don't even seem to be getting the premise down here that we're assuming the Earth is a globe, but we can't prove it. Try to eliminate the flat Earth. They don't even get that. But I could get a globe, but you're not even following the method. You're not even following the premise. They're going out of the way to misunderstand everything, call everybody stupid.
Yep, that's been the supreme position for about 6 weeks now.
Well, I don't know. Ruhip definitely wants to argue his point. He even ats me in some of his stuff, and I don't know, what is he doing? Is he measuring with an actual theodolite to get these numbers, or he's just
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
so
that's what he's doing.
referencing that, and then when you calculate it, what the distance would be based off of using the radius and the true elevation of the mountain and the predicted angle there for the refracted angle, you will get the distance, but that's only after you include the additional variable of the radius so that you can change how the triangle works. And it's basically locking it in so that the only distance between that angle and the elevation of the mountain would be that distance. So it's like it's like a weird way to, like, quote unquote, not use the distance directly, but the indirect result of it is he's using the distance, because if you change the R value in his equation, the distance changes. So that additional variable that he inserts makes it circular, and it has nothing to do with our method or analysis or how it works. Like, we don't contest that you can't do what he's doing. That's our premise is trying to figure out whether or not that mountain is actually at their predicted geometric drop, not can you backwards derive it in after the fact. So anyway.
But yeah, what he's doing is comparing apples to oranges, essentially, right? He'll take what we're doing in one column and then just use regular theodolite observations, elevation predictions with refraction, and go boom, globe's right every time. It's honestly some of the most dishonest horseshit I've ever seen him pull. What's up, JT?
What up,
JT?
What up, fam? Y'all gathered up in here. There's a good group.
I believe so. Little rebellious. I can't speak today, man. So I don't know what's going on.
Little rebelliousness.
There you go.
Hey, was anybody?
JT? Okay.
Was any? Oh, Shane, you got to be here for this. Can you drop and come back? Can somebody tell him that, or is it me? Do I need to drop?
Hold on a minute. I think he dropped. Yeah.
All right. I'll wait for him to come back because it's kind of important. Y'all might have already covered it, but I want to ask Shane something and Alan.
Hurry up, Shane. I'm waiting on you.
Yeah, I'll wait till he has the go ahead. I mean, it's nothing pressing. I just want to give a couple shout outs that are well worth it.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, it happens.
You know, it's a good thing we're not trying to like go to the moon and play golf, man. That'd be.
Well, before I get to the part with Shane and Alan, I just wanted to tell everybody, my kids are going to be going back to school soon, and I'll be streaming again, kind of trying to do a little bit more present, being present. My 5-month-old is doing great. I took a big break, plugged into family a bunch, and just put my phone down, put my computer down. But I've got things to say, and I'll be back. And I really hope to get Mark Gober, Steve Young, and Witsit to do that interview on my channel. So that will hopefully be cool if I get that to go down, or at least Gober and Young and me. That would be great too.
Nice. 5 months old already, huh?
Yeah, dude. She's almost 17 pounds. She's just doing fantastic. Already about to crawl. So 4 kids and just having fun. But Shane, can you hear me now?
Yep, I got you loud
All
and clear.
right,
What's
so
going on?
I don't know if anybody was awake last night, but after midnight, I noticed that Earth Awakenings was packed, like huge. And I went in there, and I have to give a shout out to Geo and Shalom Shire Farm because they were holding it down as far as steel manning the celestial theodolite perfectly. McToon was in there, and he was trying to say all kinds of stuff about it and like obfuscate and dodge, dip, dive. And Geo, I've never heard Geo that on point with steel manning. In my opinion, really good.
He's one of the crew now for sure on this.
Bro, he was holding it down, and every time McToon was trying to like go off in some kind of tangent, he's like, no. And he was really authoritative in keeping it on point and not letting the dip and dodge and dive go. And I posted it to, I think, Alan and Shane in Aether Cause with like I basically just did like a timestamp, and I've even gone back just to see when the conversation started. But it's going to be a worthy one that I'm going to review. But I just wanted to shout those 2 dudes out.
Yeah, that needs a JT clip up. That's a very good point. Definitely, you're gonna have to compile that because I listened to the whole thing, and I actually made the same observation you did, and made sure to compliment our boys, Shalom Shire Farm, Angle and Alchemy, and what's the other dude that popped?
Geo. It seemed to me like Geo and Shalom, like technically, like I could not believe that they were able to handle so many topics because it's almost like McToon was trying to masterfully control or dominate the situation with like tactics and what he does, and the boys were just logically keeping it steady and basically scientifically, and just they weren't letting any kind of dipping or dodging happen, which was amazing. That's why I want to recatch the whole thing. I'll probably clip it and I'll post it up when I have a little bit of time. But man, it's good to hear everybody. I got to get cleaned up, and then I may try to listen just for a little bit, maybe like 30 minutes to an hour. But my baby's out there sleeping, and my wife, she's going to be going to bed. So I just wanted to say hello, much love to everybody. Keep pursuing the truth, doing all the hard work you guys are doing. I love it, and thank y'all for what you're doing.
Thank you, El Presidente.
Yep, Stone's doing hard work. You know, Alan, I can't even say what you and Mike and Shane and all these people that are just pushing forward, plowing forward. It's worth it. It's amazing. So keep it up, and yeah, I'll catch y'all for a more lengthy one next time.
Nice.
Later, JTZ.
Peace.
Thanks for stopping by, JT.
It's really cool that JT came by with all the same observations that I immediately just told the boys like 20 minutes ago. He said, I'm like, great in order. I was like, oh, he observed something and felt the same. That's great.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that celestial theodolite, it's killing these globies, man.
It's got to be the most misrepresented, lied about argument I've ever encountered in the space.
And it's such an easy thing to, I mean, it's not even hard to still, man. I mean, come on. Did the mountain block the light?
No, but it's still refracted. I'm
It's
like, what's the
refracted.
refracted angle? Is it 0 because you can't see it? He's like, no, it's still refracted. But like, what? By what angle? And then he gives me G.G. Bennett formula, and it's like, what? Where do I apply that? I don't even see a star, bro. Where do I apply this equation to? There's no
Requires an
fucking
angle.
star, bro.
It requires an angle as an input, dude. That H in that formula is the freaking angle. So, I mean,
Bro, refraction is happening all the time, everywhere. You just don't know.
It happens so much it blocks stars now.
well, you know, don't forget the basic premise was that Heffron observed when he was reading a paper about the origins of terrestrial refraction and how it was applied, how it's specifically derived and defined according to the radius of the so-called spherical Earth, that they just assume that a ray arcs at the same rate at which the Earth curves, which is where 7/6 arc comes from. And he was like, oh, you know what? There'll never be a comparison where we'll get a fair shake if this is the way they apply refraction. So he set about to be like, could there be a way to compare the two models in the absence of this refraction thing? And that's how I came up with celestial theodolite. Like, oh, if that mountain occludes the star, then of course I don't need to worry about refraction terrestrially or otherwise, because once it's no longer there, obviously the amount of it being refracted isn't coherently relevant to the argument. So then they immediately try to make it about that. So the whole premise is to remove that.
But Shane, doesn't this also kind of like give segue? Not per se, but I mean, like it kind of opens the door a little bit. You know, it cracks the door open to your the limit of your vision being 3,500 or 3,959 miles.
Well, it's definitely related, but like the ending, the ending implication is that the stars and the Earth are both flat planes, like parallel to each other, and that the prescribed way in which we see a hemisphere, like the way you see objects rise and set, is not a geometric, facet of the Earth curving beneath you. It's how your perspective takes what is in fact parallel and like makes it in a hemisphere, like you observe in a hemisphere. So that's what we're finding, and that's completely optical as an effect. It has no effect on the Earth curve. Otherwise, all these stars would be occluded at the prescribed geometric drop heights, right? And none of them are. In fact, they're all specifically not occluded by that time, and they're off by a factor of exactly that differential in most cases. So it's like if the surface of Earth were curving, it wouldn't be off by the exact amount it's supposed to be curving at. That's the premise that we're at.
So are they at the point where they're wanting to claim that a refracted mountain can include light?
Man, they're whatever it takes right now.
Yeah, I think the general principle, Ken, is that even though in this observation we may be right because we're flat earthers and obviously wrong about everything else, that there is nothing that they can't do, lie, cheat, fib, steal, accuse, just to get this defeated because it's all justified. That's where they're at, I think. Anything's valid now.
Well,
If you're wrong about everything, then and you're a flat earther, that means you're right, because you can't be right about being wrong.
Isn't
Then
that
makes
the
you wrong.
argument? Isn't that the argument that Coffee made, that I don't know what it is, but there must be something wrong, and I'm going to find it.
His basic argument was, I don't understand. You can just do it either way, and that was wrong. And then Cat straightened him out about how the Arcana Rise over Run was a flat trigonometric prediction, and that the Earth had a different prediction with the mutually exclusive angle. He was just thinking, no, I can do trig either which way and just start calculating it every way. It's like, no, that's not at all how a mutually exclusive outcome looks, right? So I think we had to sort that out. I think he gets it now. I haven't heard anything since.
I mean, that was Craig's answer to Austin and relativity. I don't know why you're wrong, but I know you're wrong. I don't know relativity well enough to know how you're wrong, but I know you're wrong.
Yeah, imagine one side being comfortable saying that, like at all, period. That's pretty much where we're at. That's a good observation. That's when we first started looking into relativity. I was like, wow, I don't want to look into that refract like a horse shit. And then I saw Whitsitt wield it against FTFE, and I was like, oh, that's why. Shit. All right, let's go learn.
I just picked up on Mickelson Morley. I had like a little conversation with somebody over at 24/7, and we were getting into it on a late night. And then so we decided to read the paper together because he couldn't find the shit that I wanted, and I couldn't find the shit that I was asking him for. So we sat down and we read it together. I'm like, oh shit. This whole experiment came about because Aries couldn't detect the spin. So Mickelson Morley was like, well, fuck, are we even in motion?
Yeah, I saw your revelation happen real time. Yeah, that was good to watch, dude.
You saw that revelation in real time? You were listening or whatever?
No, you kept putting it in the level heads chat, dude. All the steps.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that like it just kind of started breaking down to me. I'm like, oh my gosh,
dude. There's
this
something
is crazy.
about going through it yourself where it like really, really clicks. Cause like, like we talk about this stuff all the time, but like when we go through it, it's it's like a different place of like being able to like understand it,
It's so far up the road. Like it's one thing to be at the fork in the road, and it's another thing to be like 10 miles down the road.
Man,
dude, how long were you sitting at that fork, bro? How long is that? How long are people sitting at choices like that in this community? That's very.
Bro, I kept seeing the fork on my. That's a cool fork, dude. I'm gonna go hang out over here. Like I'm fine over here. But then I decided to walk to that fork, and I'm like, I said, oh shit, man! Like that was the whole point of the experiment. Like it had nothing. Like arguing with people now. Oh, it disproved the ether. Well, what does interferometry does? It detects motion. What was the thing in motion that they were looking at in their experiment? It wasn't the ether because the ether's at rest. So tell me what's in motion that they're supposed to be detecting.
Yeah, they were specifically trying to get static ether, right? They just disqualified static non-moving ether, and then you don't ever account for moving ether, which is what it ends up being.
Yeah, it's pretty cool revelation.
The old switch and bait.
That this experiment is just as easy as the previous one with the telescope filled with water.
Yeah, we all know how that went.
It's like they couldn't even. Well, I guess it did.
Can it get any easier than a telescope and water or a star and a mountain? Like when you don't see it, it's like it can't get any easier than this. And it's just,
bro. And the guy was arguing with me. He's like, well, maybe they were just learning about light for the first time because it was in the 1800s. I'm like, bro, in the opening statement, he's talking about how they know the speed of light is 3/4 in a vacuum of what it is in water. Like they know what the fuck a speed of light is.
Hey, you know what? He knew it the most too. Mickelson did because he repeated Foucault's experiment like 10 times over. Yeah, with like even more precision each time he would do it, and like really honed in on it. So he knew exactly what he was getting into with that.
And then they want to say they got 0 when they actually did detect motion, just not what they wanted.
Unlucky, dude.
Nothing like trying to historically recontextualize a result to a non-result to support your philosophy, right? It's cool.
But this is how we all found out that things contract, and you're just gonna have to live with it.
This is how we found out that people we're around will just have an unfalsifiable belief that they'll just do whatever to defend. Oh, that's what we're up against. Okay.
I mean, when you're up against imagination, how are you going to beat that? That's imagination. Does anybody win? Imagination does every time. What's up, Flat?
Not much. How are the lads doing?
Doing well.
So I don't know. It's kind of unrelated, or mostly unrelated. But did you guys see the Stephen Colbert clip where he's ripping into RFK and then brings up celestial navigation and the sextant? Like, did you guys see that?
No, that's so random. Why did he do that?
I have no idea. I don't know where why are you bringing up celestial navigation and a sextant? Like, that seems like way out of left field.
Yeah, that's precarious.
I can post the clip up in the jumbo if y'all want it.
Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah, send it.
I'm hearing that's how they got to the moon. A plumb bob and a sextant they had to navigate there.
Dude, the astronomer's plumb bob, I heard. It's like a secret weapon.
Bring your own grav.
Tell me about this astronomer's plumb bob.
It's another name for the sidereal surveyor.
Oh, what's the sidereal surveyor?
Start using mountain peaks and occlusion times to deduce Earth shape.
That sounds like an interesting process. How does that work?
There, it's up in the jumbo if y'all want to check it out.
Thank you, my good sir.
Did you guys scare off all the Globers? Were there Globers at one point? I didn't listen most of the day. Did you guys just
Dude, globe Earth theory is an ancient theory that the Greeks used to believe in erroneously. I keep getting disclaimers on my YouTube every time I'm like, is the Earth actually a globe, guys? I get these little warning things. It's crazy.
That's what it should say.
I mean, I can't believe that.
And actually, you know what it says? It says the globe Earth theory is a theory brought forward by the Royal Society in the late 1800s to co-opt all the other celestial navigation that used the hemisphere of vision.
You're dangerous, man. You need a warning label. Letting these people think the Earth is flat. Come on, man. It's totally in a ball, and we're totally moving.
You know what I came across today? Wasn't there someone named Veritas who was like, "You flat earthers, I'm gonna make a video about you," and he made this like 7-hour documentary.
Dude, I watched
of all the work. Did you? I kind of like I found it today and I was like, "What is this?" And I flew through it and I was like, "Oh, this is okay." Honestly, these are all the dumbest flat earthers I've ever seen. I was gonna put that out there.
Dude, it was like it was like 5 hours of insulting Witsit. I mean,
was it?
Well,
it didn't include any Witsit or any Jaren or any Bob or anything.
Oh yeah, he had a bunch of them in there, but the biggest takeaway was he kept on saying the Cavendish experiment was proof of gravity. I mean, he kept on saying Earth's bigger. I was like, how did you eliminate Earth's bigger gravity? He couldn't figure it out. Yeah.
Dude, I think
how did they eliminate the sun and Jupiter and the moon's gravitational influence? That's crazy.
Dude, I want to know why Jupiter doesn't have more of an influence on us. I mean,
they just canceled out M1, M2, M3, M4, and M5, and then you were just left with G.
Oh shit! The classic, huh?
I got an equation for that.
Yeah, and that was my question earlier. Given contraction and gravity, like why hasn't everything pulled back in with 43,000 or million years? Like why hasn't it imploded?
Because we're moving outwards away from the Big Bang at near the speed of light, while the universe expands at 4.5 times the speed of light. We just haven't slowed down yet.
Yeah, but how does contraction play in that?
Well, it's only in reference frame that contractions really matter, man.
So contraction only happens on the bucket?
Contraction only happens if you're on the train. If you're standing on a platform, it doesn't happen.
Is there lightning involved?
Yeah.
Didn't it's BS say that in that example that he used with the light and the train, he said that when he looked at the equations he used, he had even in the stationary frame, he had the light in a moving frame? Or the other way around? I didn't really understand it. He said that he never had, he didn't have he put the light in the same reference frame in both examples or something.
Oh, yeah, I vaguely remember. I'd have to go back and look at it. I vaguely remember what you're talking about though. He's mentioned that a couple times. I have it bookmarked somewhere, but I don't know off the top of my head.
And you gotta love the seemingly paradoxes, which means there are no paradoxes. Just pull
Dude,
some equation out of the air.
the classic unresolved one or whatever, any of them, right? Because they're paradoxes. But yeah, it's just so funny to market it, how they market it, or try to resolve them. It's like, didn't you guys know if we cheat, we can, it's not an issue.
We can totally get this 15-foot pole in this 10-foot barn.
There was a guy named Dilbert Hingle who taught relativity for like 40 years. He was like the top relativistic guy, has a bunch of books and publications on it, was the go-to textbook uh, publisher for writing graduate level stuff for relativity. He wrote for the Encyclopedia Britannica on relativity, and he realized the twin paradox was unresolved. So he started writing his fellow Royal Society brethren, and he was like, "Dear brethren of the Royal Society, I'm reaching out to you today because I've found this paradox in the mathematic formalization of relativity that we all believe in here. And we're showing that this paradox of non-reciprocal time dilation has never been observed or measured or fixed. And anyway, what do you guys thoughts on it? Anyone want to take a crack at it?" And everyone wrote back and was like, "Dear brother, I can't help you. Never met her. Good luck. Farewell." And except for two dudes, I forget their names, but two dudes wrote back and was like, "Brother, here's the thing. I don't have the answer for you, but I know Einstein's right. Peace be upon you." So that guy, shout out to him. At least he came forward and was like, "I don't know, but I'm going with the big dog on this." And then the other guy wrote back and was like, "I have a friend who will debate you or whatever." So this guy named something McGraw comes in and he's like, "Okay, here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to make up my own interpretation that completely contradicts what Einstein said in 1922. And my answer will be the answer moving forward." And that guy, obviously didn't answer. Dingle chopped him up, and the issue went unresolved. And it got to the point where Dingle was like trying to get his thing published in the Royal Societies, or I'm sorry, in the Nature Journal, and the Royal Society wouldn't let them. Like the editor at the time was also a Royal Society member, and he wouldn't publish the thing against the Royal Society. And then so there was this like internal audit, and they concluded that there was no ethical violations, and the guy protecting the Royal Society did nothing wrong, and that Einstein was super right. And so uh, Dingle was like, "Okay, so you just want to gaslight the public. Like, it's your responsibility to be honest and upfront about this. Everyone's trusting you to represent this theory that's supposed to like explain physics and relate cosmology to them and all this. And you're basically just going to gaslight everyone." And they were like, "Well, listen, we concluded that the editor did nothing wrong in denying you, so good luck." And they just basically gaslit the guy who knew relativity the most hardest, the most bestest, when he realized it was paradoxical. And by paradoxical, like what this means is like the results it gives are physically meaningless. So even if it does give a prediction here or there, it like the idea that it's due to like contraction, due to like due to relativistic speeds and all that, like none of that is on the table. And so they were going to lose all that, and they basically just made that guy look like he was a quack and ignored him, and no one ever refuted him.
Because we can totally get that one twin going in a rocket ship at the speed of light, and so the twin paradox is still on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you, Alan, for the first half of that. Like I'm LOLing, like walking around with my phone, laughing out loud. My wife's looking at me like crazy. Like I got my ab workout. Thank you.
Nice.
Hear ye, hear ye. Everybody got to listen to Einstein. Do you understand him? Nope.
Yep. And the dude, it was crazy because he has like letter correspondences with the what do they call it, like the astronomer royal at the time, so like the head of the Royal Society at the time. He's got letters with him where this dude's like, listen, I don't even understand relativity, but you're wrong. Like he basically did the FTFE on him, dog. Now that I think of it, dude, he 1-to-1 FTFE'd him. He was like, listen, Dingle, I don't know how you're wrong, but you're wrong. Einstein's right. Just just
I'm
straight up
going
did
with
that to him, dude.
we drink beers on Saturday, man. I'm going with my boy Einstein.
Wait, was his name really Dingle?
His name was Hilbert Dingle.
A strong German name.
Super Yerman.
We don't know how you're wrong, but you're wrong. What, you've only been writing a few books on this and into it for 40 years? Yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah, you're only the number one professor. Like there's like quotes from Einstein saying that your boy Dingle was one of the only people that also understood relativity. Like he got the divine blessing from your boy. And like if you look at him now, like if you kind of try to look into the history of this now, it's framed as like, Dingle, he used to be legit skis and then he became a quack. Like how did he become a quack? What happened? Well, he just disagreed with Einstein. Oh, was he ever proven wrong? Did anyone ever mathematically refute him? No, never. But he's a quack.
It's like coming up with a method to show us flat earthers that the Earth is truly a globe and can't be flat, and it turns out we turn out to be right, and then he gets called a quack. Shout out to Dr. Heffron, our newest quack.
Yeah, Alan, I love your breakdowns. They're hilarious.
I just work here. Thank you.
Just part of the team, man. One of the big cogs, though. Ether Kaz in the house, boys and girls. Shout out to everybody down there. I know there's got to be some globies down there. Come on, Roundhound.
They talk about y'all in the celestial theodolite all the time over at 24/7.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of video clips. And it seems to be there's a large misunderstanding of its mechanics over there, according to some of the people discussing it.
Oh, definitely. I always defer, like whenever the people have brought it up and I've been in the conversation. Of course, I get trumped over like people who are actually moderators in the original server. But I always tell them like bring Dr. Heffron in here and have a conversation with him about it. Let him show you what he meant
Won't
by
do
these
it.
pieces. They won't do it. No.
Won't do it. Nah, it's so bizarre, dude.
That is bizarre. Why wouldn't they do it?
It's like it's what I would call a red flag.
Here's what I think. I think, and this, Indio, he's an owner of the server and everything like that. So I'm not knocking Indio, but a lot of those people have been arguing for so long that they're sick of having new shit come up, and then they have to figure it out, and then they find out it's not worth it, and then they have to let it go. And so I think they're in their little comfort zone, and they like their little QE arguments.
Not experiencing any pain, I see.
Live on the pain, man.
Yeah. Well,
I'm convinced.
Anyway, it's all good, man. The data speaks for itself.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and it's only going to lead to more observations and more experiments and other things. It's a great thing, but because I mean, like, when's the last time anybody's ever made any real observations on flat Earth, right? And this is a good one. Like everybody looks out over water. Yeah, Stone.
Man of stone.
But I wanted to say, what was I going to say?
Dude, Stone took the shadow sets to an entirely new level by adding Pythagoras' theorem to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was definitely an interesting presentation he had the other Sunday or Saturday, whatever.
Okay. I want to so here's my thing though. I am literally on a mission to prove the ether. I just don't have any fucking time right now. And I know there's plenty of sorry, my wife. There's plenty of evidence out there to suggest that there is the ether. Like you can't like put your finger on it and move it unless you count doing sonoluminescence and other things like that. Sound waves.
I like what my boy Senpu says. The ether is just vibrating stuff. It's just stuff moving or whatever. And he's like, when I'm waving my hand right now, guess what, my boy? Waving a bunch of ether around.
That's what I'm saying
like
too. Is that when these guys
like
say prove the ether, I'm all like, I need to know what the definition I need to prove to you is because you're breathing it right now, bro.
Breathing in a little E to the dome.
Like I think the biggest thing for me though, like I think it's a huge thing is the impedance of light in a vacuum or the impedance of light in free space. I don't think there's a better piece of evidence than that. You know, I need to read more on it.
It makes a pretty strong argument.
Makes a huge, strong argument. Like, what the fuck's impeding it if there's nothing?
It's like it's way harder because like the interpretation without it is that a field of math is doing it, and it's like that doesn't like if you're willing to take that on as your belief system, then it's like I got a bridge to sell you or whatever they say.
Anyway, yeah, no, like that's the only thing. I think that's the other thing that's holding them back too. Is a lot of them are upset with the whole ether thing, and
well, that's
it
all
is
good,
what
man.
it is.
Yeah, tomato potato, as they say. Onward and upward.
Yeah, they seem to get hung up on the naming rights, but trying to go to a quantum eraser type shit. I don't know.
And don't get me wrong, Quantum Eraser did a great job with the whole black swan argument. It was good with the triangles on a flat surface. Those are important, very very important. And without those arguments, I wouldn't be here right now. You know what I mean? Like I had to learn something.
I agree, man. I agree.
And Toby's here.
Man, Toby's been here.
I know. What's up, Toby? I hope all is well, man.
No
I guess you heard we
audios.
were talking about you.
No audio is coming out of your mic, Toby.
Toby always had problems with his audio.
There it is.
He's been talking for
10
there
we go. There we go. We got you now.
What's up, Toby?
No, I haven't said much.
No, you're good, man. I'm just glad you're okay, man.
Yeah, no, doing great, doing great.
Awesome.
Just sorting some Zotero docs.
Toby, there were rumors that you were trapped in Antarctica trying to get a new ingredient for the coffee.
I was in a way deep down there. I was in a pyramid. Couldn't see if there was a sun or not. I was deep down inside the pyramid, so I no idea what happened up there as far as the sunlight things goes. But there were a lot of really great penguins, and they taught me a lot of great new coffee roasting techniques. And so yeah. And then unfortunately, I was hoping to get an occlusion timing of one of the pyramids while I was down there, but like I said, no sky time. So
dang it,
unlucky.
But the coffee's still good though, right?
Well, even better now that I got the guidance from the temple penguins.
Toby, is it true that part of your training to receive coffee training from the penguins was you had to ride a wild polar bear?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you have to get on there, and I got swatted a few times real bad, a few big gashes across my side. But yeah, if you just kind of dig your knees or in around their into their sides of their chest there, and kind of grip them real tight, do a little bit of a sleeper hold, and then you can kind of coax them from there, and you can turn them into a pretty good mount for riding around Antarctica. Even though we have to ship them in from the Arctic, of course, because they're not even in Antarctica as it goes. But yeah.
We talking penguin sledding here?
That's a great idea. But no, for real, things are going great. Just been busy with work and home stuff.
Nice, nice. What's up, Flats?
Yeah, so back to what Sheep was talking about. So light in a vacuum, like, does a vacuum impede the travel of light? Can we prove that?
Quite the
Well,
opposite.
There was
Yeah.
all the matter was removed from the space where the light was traveling through,
it would stop.
and something else was not allowing light to travel the full speed of light that was calculated. So something was impeding it, but if nothing's in there, what's impeding it? And it's not the vacuum. There's got to be something physical there that we're not accounting for.
I mean, they would tell you no. That's how
Yeah, so
stars.
do we think light?
What was that? I heard two people.
Or actually, I don't know. Do they just say it's like really, 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 really low, like infinitesimally low? I think it's just a no. When it's in space, you're just no impedance.
It's like 0.377 ohms or 377 ohms, something like that.
Well, that's the thing is that they're saying that I think that's the gaslight saying, oh, there's no impedance, so it should be able to flow faster. The fact that there's no medium says it's not even going to go at all. If it was a
Honestly, it makes me like, it actually makes me cackle sometimes just thinking about the concept of light just going forever, and it's just that's what we see coming from outer space. I mean, it's just outrageous.
Yeah, so is light a wave? Is it a particle, or does it just it's here and it's there?
I think,
in my opinion, it's here and it's there. You see it, you perceive it.
Yeah, I guess to be clear, I shouldn't say goes forever, but rather is inducted forever.
and to think it could travel without a medium, it's just absurd. Got our William in the house.
What's going on, guys? What's going on? What is going on? I noticed I haven't seen Toby. I was just thinking about him the other day, and I see he transformed into a penguin. So that's new, but it's been a while. Yeah, man, what's going on? How's tonight been?
Well, lately it's been a little slow for the Globies. I don't know why they're a little shy tonight. They were in here earlier.
I mean, there's only so many flat smackings you can take before you get a little gun shy. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for Toby, but with those penguin flippers, dude, you could flat smack the fuck out of somebody. So, maybe they're worried about him. I don't know.
Well, I hear that penguins are super nice because they don't really have any, fear of us because they're worried about orcas or some shit.
I don't know. A flat Earth penguin might be a little hostile to a globularist, but who knows?
I wish
Yeah,
Roundhound
these
down
globies
there.
don't have a ball to stand on.
I wish Roundhound down there would come and explain how a cup obstructing a key in a bowl and then filling the bowl with water to see the key behind the cup because of refraction is an explanation for why when I look out over the ocean above the water that I can see the horizon behind the fucking object that's supposed to be obstructed. Am I looking through water? Is that what happens, Roundhound? I look out in the ocean, I look through the ocean, and then because I'm looking through the ocean, the horizon pops up.
It's very kaleidoscopic. He's just gonna
Oh,
call you mate a bunch and be like, dude, the penguins got in the way, and so it made Refuting not work as predicted, or who knows. But yeah, no, fuck, dude, I got another phone. I'm on phone number fucking 4 this year. So it took me
Dude.
like 2 hours to, I mean, dude, working in construction. It took me like 2 hours to not figure out, but like to get all my settings back the way they were, and then you have to relog into every fucking app. So I go through X, and it's like, you need to give me permission for your mic. You got to give me so I'm fucking dealing with permissions. I'm over here like, dude, I'm trying to get in this space. So long story short, here I fucking am, and Roundhound will probably come up and call you mate or something. Who knows?
Hey,
no, he
mate.
won't. He's like, hey, pick up your soap on the way out. Like, it's the fucking stupidest thing ever, dude. That's his gimmick.
Gimmicks are fun.
Come on up, Roundhound.
I saw Alan on my job site again fucking yesterday. Got this big bear running around, dude. He's leaving his bear tracks everywhere. We actually pulled up and he was circling the dumpster, which is, I mean, it's a standard construction dumpster, so it's pretty tall. It's like 6 feet tall. So he ain't getting in there, but he's still sniffing around. I pull up way early, dude. And he looks at me, takes 2 steps towards me, just stands there, and then like slowly, Yogi Bear style, turns around and just wanders off into the fucking woods. It's like, fuck this guy. All right, I'll let you work, dude. I'll be back tomorrow.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, I named him Alan. He's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Take some pictures of the
So
bear.
Alan's dumpster diving?
I'm a dumpster bear? I'll take it, I guess.
Gonna call him Yogi.
I wouldn't say
I'm
it's a
saying
dumpster
dumpster diving.
bear. Bears are just doing bear shit, dude. That's what bears do. Just engaging in bear-like behavior, bro.
You're like, hey, bear, don't do that. The fuck is he talking about?
Like, he probably thought there were donuts in there, you know,
Yeah,
but like it's really just like sawed up 2x4s and concrete chunks. But I mean, shout out to him for trying.
I mean, he probably went to the dumpster because he's like, I don't want to go bother those construction guys. So I'm going to see if they put something in here just in case, because I could go be an asshole and then they'll yell at me and I'll yell at them and then we'll be yelling at each other back. I'm just going to go look in the dumpster.
I'm telling you what, dude, if he runs
yeah.
off,
Are you gonna tell him not to go in your dumpster?
dude, we got the Adelites on site. So if I see him walking off with the Adelite, it's for sure Alan, dude. He's like, I'm looking for the curve, motherfuckers. I don't know, man. Maybe I need to get back on my. I should probably unblock like 65% of the people that I blocked or muted so that I can anger some people back in here. I was able to bait people into Flat Earth Friday twice successfully, and it went as as you would expect. One of them was drinking and spacing, and then the other guy was just operating on a like sub 60 IQ. So there's that. But maybe I'll go back to that and see if we can get this shit, I don't know, a little more lively before 10 o'clock my time.
Yeah, I had a couple of them down there. I put invites on, and as soon as I gave them an invite, they booted. Booted themselves, man. Said, I can't do that. Oh no, he noticed me. Gonna go back in the timeline. They scurry away like roaches.
Y'all missed it earlier,
Or
though.
William.
He had like 40 plus. Somebody said he had 70 anonymous listeners down there at one point. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was kind of a.
My goodnesses.
Yeah, Orwellian was one. Orwellian was one of those guys, the moon guy.
The moon guy is really vague, dude. There's a couple of them. Which moon guy?
Talking about Clay Jackson.
Clay Jackson. Look at
Yeah,
Sheepdog's
Clay.
picture.
Clay was one of them. I got like 3 or 4 versions of Star Crush muted. I don't know if you guys remember that fag. He threatened. He lives down in Wilmer, which is actually the was rated the second most like drug infested random ass city in the entire state of Minnesota. Like everybody's on fentanyl and meth down there. So like shout out to him. Cheers to my haters. There's going to be a lot more, but fucking no. There's a couple moon guys. There's Star Crush. Zidney's just Zidney. Like, I muted him for a while, and then he started, posting videos, clips of conversations we had out of context, calling me a Nazi, which is fine. Like, dude, I'll put on the hat. It's whatever. No, I don't like. Which moon guy, dude? There's so many. Like the dude that was like obsessed with the moon. I think I know what you're talking about, but it's been a while.
It was a super drunk moon guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but I remember the interaction, dude. It was hilarious.
Is it like a Paul or something like that?
Yeah, I think
Bill.
No, I want to say Gary, but Gary's
No,
a great guy.
Gary. Gary obsesses about the moon, but
Maybe
he obsesses about everything. It definitely wasn't Gary because he didn't have that dumb Gary accent.
Why are you muting me?
Yeah, it wasn't a British guy. It was an American guy, but yeah, that's Gary. Muted
But
again.
You muted me. And then you're going to mute me again. And then I'm going to talk about that mute as well.
Dude, every time that motherfucker comes off mic, like he was still talking and then just recognized, like right when you took him back on, that he was muted. So he's still talking. Like it's a full monologue he's having basically with himself. And he just in between mutes, he recognizes that it happened. Then he gets super offended. I'm so offended. Then he gets real mad at Brian. He's like, "You're going to call me a drunk again, aren't you?" Brian just gave up on it. He doesn't even call him a drunk anymore. He's just like, "Gary, quit being Gary."
Oh, I think I called him a drunk. Did I call him a drunk today? Or
Oh, you guys had Gary today? That would have been fun.
No, I think actually that was yesterday in Bond Space.
Who's that transformer from my state? Has anybody seen that thing lately?
He got unmuted.
Brenda, that's the one. Sorry.
I was going to say Brenda, yeah.
Yeah. Anybody seen the transformer lately? That was another annoying one. So I guess the point I'm trying to get at is I'd kind of like him back with a little
Brenda
less
like 2
annoyance.
nights ago in 24/7, making his rounds.
That's crazy. I think I saw Brenda in a minivan in Minneapolis like 2 weeks ago, but I don't know what the thing looks like. But like the bumper stickers kind of gave it away.
You haven't seen that dude in a while, man.
Yeah, I haven't seen Brenda on X. Yeah, that several months.
I kind of miss.
I don't even thinking about him.
I've been going like I've been taking a trip down memory aisle, all the usual suspects, and how they've really dwindled. So like we only really get like a Peter, we get a Zidney. You know what I mean? There's a handful of people that are faithful irritants.
I heard
we used to have a variety pack. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. So I'm not gonna post it, but that was sent to me DM wise before it even went like Twitter wide. Like I've got that dude's whole rap sheet, like the entire thing. Yeah, he deleted everything. He is not on Rumble, YouTube, X. He's
solicit a minor.
Yes, and well, he's been more degeneracy. He's been charged but dismissed. So we'll just go with like the convictions. But yeah, the conviction was that. But yeah, no, I mean, I guess what I was getting at is just I kind of miss having that variety pack, all these different so Sydney's explanation for Pry Guy disappearing was he got doxxed and whatever. Like Gary's the drunk, and then Pry Guy was like the meth globy, right? So like I try to assign an illicit chemical that these people are under the influence of to like each and every one of them. And I kind of miss that variety pack, man. We used to we'd get them in there and it'd be fun for a minute. And then, somebody pop in with something, I don't know, relevant to argue about and discuss. But I mean, now it's just slim pickings, Brian. What the fuck?
But Aurelian, let me ask you this. All right. So Pry Guy gets doxxed supposedly. So what is anybody going to do? Somebody's going to call his job and says, "Hey, You know what Pry Guy does in his spare time? He argues with flat earthers. Like, nobody gives a fuck, bro.
Well, the worst thing that you could say about the dude is that he looks like a winged gerbil, right? And he talks really fast, and he's literally arguing for mainstream education as we know it today. That's all he's doing. He's supporting the narrative. How
Well, yeah,
dare
we
he?
know that. I'm just saying, like who's
Yeah,
gonna give a shit? They're
who's
gonna be
gonna
like,
do
oh,
that?
okay, cool, keep it up, dude.
So is he worried about like unhinged flat earthers attacking him? Because I'm pretty
Ain't no
sure.
unhinged flat earth. They're gonna go after him. Nobody gives a fuck.
No, dude, we're like probably the most chill motherfuckers you're gonna meet. I mean, if you come to my house, you might meet a different version of me, but otherwise, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so so
But the
that
other way
Starcrush
around
dude,
happens all the time. Did you
yeah,
know
no,
that you
me,
employ a flat
fucking
earther?
that Starcrush dude was fucking with both of us, and I was like, dude, if you want to, I'll fly you to Texas right now. It's a mutual combat space. You want to try to roll on a mat with Sheepdog? You go ahead. I'll videotape it. Let's go. So like on the flip side of the coin, it's always something stupid, but yeah, I just never got it, dude. Like I have people posting mugshots. Yeah, I have a checkered past. Anybody that knows me that's been listening to me speak for like the last 2 or 3 years knows that I'm not shy about disclosing that I've come from a checkered past and turned a leaf. Every saint was a sinner, right? And every sinner's got a future. I don't like I'm not holding people's feet to the flames that way, but to do that. Hey, look, this dude's been in jail. Like, okay, so did that invalidate any of the points that I've made over the last 3 years about the fact that you don't know your own fucking model and what we're arguing about? No, it doesn't. Not at all. Not in the least bit. All you're trying to do is sow division, and I don't care. I don't, bro. I'm not here for followers. I'm here for the conversation. I'm here because I've been lied to my whole life, like the rest of us, and woke up to it and am fucking tired of it. That's why I have the discussion. You think my mugshot's gonna change? I'm gonna get off X now. This guy's been arrested. He's invalid, dude. Einstein married and fucked his cousin. Give me a break, bro. That's your guy.
Dude, I remember when they exposed Witsit's record, and I was like, this dude got arrested for speaking the truth and smoking weed. Oh, more respect, right? Like that went the opposite way for me. I was like, oh, knowing that, I have more respect for the person, but that's just me personally.
Don't forget, he then wrote about wanting
weed, Witsit and weed, bro, weed. Oh, don't. His entire fucking catalog is now invalidated. Everything he's ever done on YouTube and the entire fucking course, dude, the rap songs he's made, all of that is invalid now because weed can, like, come on, you fucking idiots.
I guess they didn't know that. I guess all of us smoke weed or whatever, or startingly amount of the percentage of the crossover on the Venn diagram is huge.
Well, you want to know what the flip side of that coin is like the dudes that are arguing and like making up, like they're making shit up and being super finger pointy and like chest pokey about, Witsit, smoking weed or whatever, and people having mugshots. I guarantee you they boof their drugs. Globies, they boof it, bro. They're pushing things up the balloon knot, bro. They're untying their own balloon knots. That's gross. I can't substantiate that claim, but it seems to make sense to me. So we're just going to run with it.
I'm still mulling over the new name you gave it in my head. So,
balloon knot. those things don't untie themselves, bro.
Well, hey, I'll say this much: that's how they get their plumb bob, dude.
Oh fuck.
Well, this feels reminiscent of Flat Earth on Friday.
What's that?
So this feels.
I was just saying. No, go ahead.
What's that, Shane?
I was just saying this is reminiscent of Flat Earth Friday. We got all the same crew, a bunch of people in here.
Right.
You used to have a lot of back and forth banter, and then get into some sauce, and then banter some more, and get into some more sauce, and then flat smack a couple people, and then back to the sauce, and then we just keep it moving. I want to see Toby's avatar flipper slap the fuck out of P-dubs, though, dude. The more I look at that, I can just hear the sound. Flap, 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 flap. Just smack the shit out of him.
Yeah, nobody really wants to talk to P-dubs, though.
Yeah, dude, like that would require me to listen to P-dubs for like more than a second.
True.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you the only two people. Okay, so like just flashback to Flat Earth Fridays. The only two people that would hang in there for fucking hours, 10+ hours, would be Shane and Alan. And as soon as fucking P-dubs got a mic, bro, Shane's straight hot mic and open mic. Oh, shut the fuck, God, you mute up. And Alan's like, God damn it, I'm gonna record this shit, but I'm leaving. The only fucking person that was capable of doing that in the fucking well over a year and a half that I was involved in that Friday night situation was that fucking idiot.
Man, that dude is so
Dude.
insufferable.
He brought the weasel out of Alan, dude. He went from bear to weasel. He was like, I'm gonna fucking shoot. You're not weasel, fucking honey badger. He's, I'm gonna shoot your fucking face off. Fuck this guy.
Dude, he is insufferable, man. I cannot stand that dude. And every time he talks, there's always a stupid freaking distance story. And every time he talks, all I do is picture him sitting at like a coffee shop with a striped shirt on and a beret, man.
A tweed jacket with like a different elbow
Thank
pad
you.
or whatever.
I was just gonna say beret too. I guarantee that fucking fruitcake wears a beret, dude.
He wears a beret.
I think what happens is I have a very low tolerance for stupid retardation, and it just got smaller over time. So it started out small, and it just got smaller. So I don't know. It's probably a me thing.
No, I feel you, bro, because I got a low tolerance for stupid too, man. It's and he's packed full of it.
I mean, you can gauge someone's intent and reaction from their tone and intonation, what they say, like the word choice. You get a lot, and you can clearly see, oh, this retard doesn't give a fuck. Right? That's immediately apparent.
He's so fucking emotional, dude. That's the first fucking thing for me, dude. Like, why are you so? You just got a microphone and you're emotional. You sound like you want to cry or run into a wall crying hysterically. Like, I don't even know how to handle you. And then you let him talk for a little bit, and it's like, okay, well, I get it. So I don't even have a low tolerance for that, dude. I'm allergic to the shit. Like, I'm fucking allergic to it.
He's one of those people that will talk and talk and talk until you completely forget about everything you had to say, and he hopes that you concede to whatever he said.
No, he'll
That's
sit
all he
there.
wants to do.
He'll sit there and talk.
He's the Gish Gallop world champion, dude.
He really
sit
is.
there and talk for like 5 minutes straight. You say, "Hey, man, can I?" Oh, why are you gonna interrupt me, man? How come you're always over talking me, man? It's like, bro, shut up.
Yeah, dude. You should make it a personal policy. Any mute whining gets you immediately muted, right? Anyone who starts bitching about being muted or whatever, immediately you get another mute. That should be a rule, because then that would, correct.
Well, it is the rule. That's
behavior.
like the conspiracy theorist. He was big on that. Like you're gonna continue where you left off. If you can't, I'll just keep muting you and unmuting you until you pick up where you left off. And people were notorious for that. They'd sit there and, why you keep mute? And then it would just mute up.
Yeah, I've seen so many conversations devolve into, you muted me, well, you muted me, well, you muted when I was just like, oh, this is shut the fuck up, everybody. Nobody cares. Please go back to what we were talking about before.
Right, we can't just have decorum and have a fucking conversation, where I get my point out and then I shut up and then you do the same. No, that's weird. What a revolutionary fucking idea. It's just a bunch of hysterical, fucking over-emotional, obviously heavily fluoridated individuals that really, really, really are passionate about their position on something. Right, so they explain it with such passion. They come at you with such vitriol. The only problem is their IQ is too fucking low to help them recognize that they're completely fucking ass backwards, wrong, spewing incorrect information, and or acting like a fucking baby simultaneously. It's ridiculous, dude.
I'll say this much: if me and Brian Sweet can have a back and forth conversation without the mute button, it's possible.
Man, I think I've only
like that. It is possible.
I think I've only muted one person today, and he's no longer here. So shout out to Peter.
That's huge.
I was just gonna
Too.
say, you didn't even have to tell me who the fuck it was. I already knew.
Nah, there was more. That Quran guy, we went pretty hard on him and muted him a couple times.
Well, he wasn't. He was pushing the Quran, so he didn't really count. So
I'm a hard pusher
Well,
for
okay,
more
that's fair.
muting. You guys should do more muting. There should be more aggressive muting, not less. What I remember from Flat Earth Friday is that retards got to talk for way too long. That was my personal grievance all the time.
Yeah, but that was kind of Sacred and Proud's thing, was like, everybody gets a little bit of free speech to get a little wiggle room just to see what kind of character they have. And
Yeah.
I mean, as time went on, though, they would control the room a little bit better. But
You're talking
if it was your first time, you got
4
some free reign.
4 hours wiggle room is too much, bro. Okay, for these people.
Well, P Dubs would get a lot too much. And then who was that other dude that was like, he was like, I know Elon, I'll bet you all this money. You guys remember his name? That was the other dude they gave way too much time to. I can't remember that fucker's name, dude. He used to get into it with Whitson.
You're talking like the
That was
free
the
speech
target.
guy or whatever?
No, like this
free
he
whoever?
he was like my
Conspiracy
like, I know
guy.
Elon Musk, and somebody that I know used to date whatever one of his baby's moms is, dude, and that was like his thing. Like that was his his creds. Dude, he'd like, his whole thing was like, he'd only come in if Witsit was in the room. And the dude used to lose his mind. I'll have to go back into Alan's archives and figure out who this asshole is. But they'd give him so much time, dude. And I'm just like, fuck this guy. I'd go to bed. I'm like, I got to check out.
Yep. I'm at that where with a lot of people now. I noticed like I have that limit with a great many more people than I started with. Oh, this guy's talking. I'm fucking out. I don't give a shit. I'm out.
I think you're developing an allergy just like I got, bro. Like, I'm fucking straight up allergic to a lot of that shit. And I'm just like, well, I'm flaring up. Got to go.
That's what it is, dude.
Hey, lads and ladettes, thanks for joining us for another Friday night on the community Twitter space. Shout out to Brian and his co-host Ken and the other co-hosts throughout the week that hold the show down. And tune in Sunday to see the presentation follow-up by Shane going over the celestial and terrestrial sphere model. So now we went over first their fancy pants coordinate system. Now we're going to go with what they with how they're going to use their coordinate system and try and relate it to the ground. So that'll be an awesome presentation. Look forward to that on Sunday. Then, of course, Tuesday will be Celestial Theodolite update number 15, I think. So that'll be fun. We should have the graphs available by then. So we'll be going over the new graphs and the relationships, etc. from the data. And then Tuesday, of course, will be Shane's new presentation on the use of stellarium and what stellarium is. I think that's what he's going to be presenting on. So we'll see you guys for the usual weekly activities, and we'll see if there's something else we can do during the middle of the week there. Some sort of a fun activity for the lads and ladettes. Oh, and don't forget, tomorrow is our trivia night where you can win a t-shirt or a hat. So if you want to participate, go to discord.gg/Aether Cosmology. And that's Aether with an A. So AETHER Cosmology. All right. See you guys Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.